Welcome back here in Top Cut quarterfinals. I am Dennis Geisler. That is Arnie Wolf, who did not qualify for Top Cut.
Horrible luck today. Horrible luck today. But some people got good luck, and you're going to see a couple of them on stream right now. We got Alberto, Lara, and William Franco coming up. This is a very interesting, I believe this is William's first Top Cut, which is very exciting.
Indeed, yeah.
And a very interesting team on both sides. Alberto on the left with that Pelipper, Chenpao, Urshifu. This one is Rapid Strike, Golden Go, Amoonguss, and Dragonite. While William's got that Tornadus, this one's Therian form, or Incarnate form, sorry. Ogerpon, Wellspring, Chi-Yu, Fluttermane, Ursaluna Blood Moon, and for draft.
Yeah, interestingly, it is a rain team versus a sunny day Tornadus, so it is possible for William to overwrite that rain.
The one thing that's very interesting to me too is there's a couple different options here, because you have sunny day to stop the rain. However, I think the main big thing here that is going to be a bit of an issue is going to be this Amoonguss.
The Tornadus here to stop this rain.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. In real life.
Literally, it's been raining all day. It still is.
Real life Tornadus prankster sunny day.
But I think going into this matchup, if you're William, you're thinking, if you play Trick Room, that Amoonguss is scary. If you play your Fluttermane Chi-Yu lead, it can Terra Fairy, and it will survive that with a Citrus Berry and then Spore. And so your main goal is to really utilize Tornadus and Ogerpon to not only stop the rain, but also stop the Amoonguss. You got Golden Go, Chenpao, and Dragonite all ready to do massive damage onto those three. So it's going to be a battle of positioning here.
It is indeed. We're getting underway here. It's Tornadus Chi-Yu as the lead for William and the Dragonite Chenpao for Alberto.
Ooh.
That's a nice opener for Alberto. It puts Chi-Yu in a really annoying spot. Yeah,
it's got a Terra right now. It is Terra.
Well, and if it Terras, then it gets hit by Sucker Punch, and it's Gonzo.
Although I do think that you could utilize a swap out here.
I feel like Chi-Yu might have to switch, which isn't the worst thing in the world because you get Tornadus Tailwind up, but something then probably gets hit.
If you have really, it's a tough lead. Question is, do you think that the Chenpao is going to Sucker Punch to try and avoid that Terra, or is it going to go for the Icicle Crash, or Ice Spinner, onto the, or Icicle Crash? No, it is Icicle Crash. I read it wrong. Or is it going to Icicle Crash onto the Tornadus? I think Ogerpon's the right switch in here, and Protect on Chenpao is actually really nice in this position if you can get that Tailwind up. The question is, and you do, so no Extreme Speed coming up from Dragon. I was going to say, it is Assault Vest. It would not have KO'd anyways, so you're fine. But Stomping Tantrum connecting with that Grass type, not going to do that much damage.
Yeah, not that much damage indeed.
Oh, it is Ice Spinner, by the way. It is Icicle Crash on the team sheet, but it is Ice Spinner in game.
Okay.
So I was right. I did read it right.
Yeah, I'm really curious about the decision there to protect with the Chenpao.
It is Icicle Crash. Why did I say Ice Spinner? Oh my gosh. Ignore me.
Arnie's struggling with
Why did it literally said Ice Spinner in my mind? It literally said Ice Spinner.
It's the it's the Mandela effect. You're from the Ice Spinner universe.
Literally, that's what's going on.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Okay, well, that's it. That's it. He found out that I uncovered his plan. No, I'm just kidding. That is a first.
It's a stream. It's a glitch of the Pokemon Matrix.
That seems to be the theme of the day today. Oh, we're back. We're back. I believe we're gonna see Ogerpon Terra. This is probably going to be a disconnect. We are having the judges talk it to the players.
All right, they're gonna unpluggy repluggy. So
the question is that going to count? Most likely, it will count as someone's win. Whose win? We'll find out.
I think no win.
Okay.
I think they've currently agreed to no win on that. So that was strange.
That's a first. Yeah.
So honestly, it isn't.
Is it not? Oh, it's first for me.
I had it happen a couple of weeks back. But in any case,
yeah. So
it was the Dragonite Chenpao lead. The priority spam, best friends with lots of physical damage. Against the Chi-Yu Tornadus, the Chi-Yu just kind of had to bail immediately.
I think the switch into Ogerpon was quite solid, though.
I think it was.
Yeah. I think that was really valuable because Ogerpon's relatively bulky. The thing is, now
assuming it was the Terra, well, yeah, we saw it was the Terra Water Ogerpon. That also meant it wasn't weak to like anything that was being shown off.
And it's going to take a lot of damage. Not to mention that Oblique Windstorm should do decent. Not too much on Dragonite because it is Assault Vest. However, it's very solid into Chien-Pao. It can most time 2-hit KO it. And so getting rid of Chien-Pao was really important for Chi-Yu because after that you can Terra Ghost, and now it can't really, the Dragonite can't really touch you for that much, and you can go for Dark Pulse. Regardless, which is also just really good into this matchup. Dark Pulse hits pretty much everything except Chien-Pao, and then if Amoonguss Terra Fairies. Also Urshifu, but at the same time...
what does it do to Urshifu? Like, Urshifu is not the bulkiest Pokemon in the world, especially with the Beads of Ruin.
However, it does, I believe if I'm remembering correctly, it could do a lot of damage. I know Choice Specs Dark Pulse does over 50%.
Yeah, and this is Choice Scarf. I don't think we said that out loud yet, but it is Choice Scarf.
I think, though, getting a little teaser of the leads is going to prompt both to kind of change. I don't actually think Alberto is going to change, but now knowing that, like, you've got... Okay, I saw what the first strategy was, which is Tornadus, Chi-Yu. If you're William, you're like, what do I swap in that's a much safer lead into that combo? And honestly, again, it's tough because Ursaluna Blood Moon's really good into this combo. Actually, Follow Me plus Ursaluna is really good into anything. Or Follow Me for a Giraffe, and then you swap your Follow Me Mon into Ursaluna. But the only thing that's the biggest thing that counters that is Amoonguss. And I think if you're William, you really want to focus on getting rid of that as well. Have something in the back to just kind of help you there. Because otherwise you're going to be in a lot of trouble, especially if it's rain and you can't hit Amoonguss with super effective damage from fire. That's going to really hurt you. And it's Terra Fairy, so Dark Pulse could also be yours.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. It'll still, like... I don't know. Pokemon?
So we're getting back in.
Gotta go to the director's office, that's important.
Okay. We're just getting... So I believe that was no win there. So there we go. We're gonna just try this one more.
So get back into it. But yeah, what do you think the change-up could or should be?
Okay, so I think for Alberto, you just play the same thing. I think you play Chien-Pao Dragonite. I think it's really good into all Williams' team.
Yeah.
The only thing is the Flutter Mane. However, you are Assault Vest Dragonite, and so that is very useful because you could take a Moonblast pretty safely, and then as well, probably a Dark Pulse as well. If not, then your Chien-Pao keeps its Focus Sash up, and so that's very useful.
Yeah.
And so I think the play is to, if you're Alberto, you just do the same thing, but if you're William, you gotta prep against that more while also keeping the Amoonguss in the back, in thought, because I would be very surprised if Alberto doesn't bring out Amoonguss here, to be honest. Terra Fairy into this team is very good. And I also think you're going to want to save the Terra. So any Terra-dependent Mons should be excluded if you are Alberto, which for the most part, I don't think there is any. Looking at it, I think...
Especially given that the Dragonite is Assault Vest, it doesn't really need to Terra. It can just kind of use whatever moves it thinks is fun.
Yeah, and so I think if you play Amoonguss... Okay, that's interesting. I think Amoonguss is really good into this. Especially, you really can partner Amoonguss with any of the three. I know we're not going to see it in this matchup, but I still think it's solid. But because the rest...
Got a whole set to go.
Yeah. I think the rest of it, the team here on Alberto side is very... The Urshifu is also really good into a lot, but you really got to watch out for the Ogerpon in that case. And I think that's also a main thing for Alberto to target is that Ogerpon, because that does stop the Amoonguss, it does stop the Urshifu. It doesn't stop the Pelipper, however, if you Terra water, it does. And so it's very versatile, and if positioned right, it could spell trouble.
Yeah. There's a switch up there from William. It's going to be the Flutter Mane Ogerpon lead. Same lead from Alberto, the Chien-Pao and the Dragonite.
I guess it's an interesting one. I think it's better for Alberto because you can double target onto the Ogerpon. I would personally just protect the Chien-Pao and go for the hit onto the Flutter Mane right away, probably an Aerial Ace, not really Ditch Rise, but it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Break the Focus Sash, and then you can Sucker Punch it and target Aerial Ace on Ogerpon, which forces it to Terra, and then you lose that.
Yeah, force out of Terra 50-50, one or the other.
Yeah, and the good news is you...
Although even still, like, what? Dragonite, even with Assault Vest, Dragonite's going to be hit pretty hard by, like, a Moonblast, yeah? Maybe... But probably Dazzling Gleam, but still, it's still going to do decent damage. And I guess the Ogerpon can't really do anything to it.
No, I think you're fine if you stay in. I mean, you could Terra Normal, but then I feel like that's a little riskier because you do have...
You lose out on value later.
Yeah, exactly. And also this Ogerpon, which is faster than Dragonite, is now going to be able to go for a full power Ivy Cudgel onto you at neutral damage instead of resisted damage.
Yeah.
That, I think, is going to make a bit of a difference.
There is the Ogre Pawn with the Wellspring Mask, Terastal, Water with the special defense boost. The Terra on the other end, that is the Terra normal Dragonite, boosts that extreme speed damage. Attack is like really, really high.
Yeah, it's gonna do decent on anything. Although I think Ogre Pawn losing that flying weak
Well, obviously won't do anything with Flutter Mane, which is the critical difference.
And we're gonna see extreme speed connect with the Ogre Pawn. So no targeting on the Flutter Mane this time, unless possibly clicking Protect. That does a lot of damage still.
Does do a lot of damage, and it is the Dazzling Gleam, in fact.
If this connects with Dragonite and this Terra normal was predicted, that's
the medium damage and the Ivy Cudgel. Looking like it's going to... Yeah, it is.
That was a really, really good call from William. Really good call from William.
That was very good indeed. Getting that hit down, getting the Dragonite out of the way, getting the Terra out of the way very early. The Ogre Pawn's still on kind of low HP, but it's totally fine to be that way. Especially, I mean, at this point, you can... I think you can just follow me for the Ogre Pawn here and force Urshifu to U-turn.
I don't think U-turn KOs at this range as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well, where I don't think it KOs, and so I think Chen Pao will also have to focus into that, and Chen Pao will also take get down to 1 HP with the Dazzling Gleam.
There's no good situation for Urshifu here, but I understand the reason you brought it out instead of your other Mon. Again, I told you, Amoonguss I think was a really good situation here, but U-turn does actually pick up the KO. I don't know if it necessarily matters, because...
Yeah, it doesn't actually, I guess it doesn't matter.
If Chi-Yu is in the back...
My if it matters, Icicle Crash flinch.
It's probably speed tie. Actually, there's a good chance
the Chen Pao's way faster. I used my powers of deduction. Chen Pao's way faster.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. Okay, yeah. There's always a chance. I think it is modest, though, Flutter Mane, possibly.
Yeah. There's the breaking it down to Sash, the 1 HP. Icicle Crash Flinch. Does not get it. Dazzling Gleam is going to take Chen Pao down to 1 HP, Pelipper down to pretty low HP. Chen Pao will still be faster.
Does it matter is the question. Do you have any priority if you're William? I don't think you do, but...
you do have Chi-Yu. I mean, Chi-Yu's not priority, but Chi-Yu is Chi-Yu. And it's Scarf.
It's scary, though. Because there's a very valid play here, which is for Alberto, and this Chen Pao's going to protect. I think the play, personally, Dark Pulse to Pelipper, Moonblast on Chen Pao. If Flutter Mane goes down, it's okay. You want that Pelipper out so your Chi-Yu outspeeds.
I mean, could you not go for like a what's it called? Snarl Dazzling Gleam?
I don't think Snarl KOs Pelipper, and if you get the Tailwind off, you lose.
It doesn't, but Flutter Mane outspeeds Pelipper. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Sucker Punch happens. So
yeah,
you really need to get rid of Pelipper because if Tailwind comes out,
that's true. Tailwind for the.
And I believe at Tailwind you do outspeed with Pelipper here, so it's gonna that just kind of locks it in, especially if the last Mon is Tornadus, which I think it will be. Then you're free to just go for Surging Strikes onto the Tornadus and Weather Ball onto the Chi-Yu. But we're going to see Flutter Mane switch out, which is very valid, actually.
That's actually a pretty decent choice. Tornadus comes in, because now the Chi-Yu can do whatever it wants.
Let's see if that Dark Pulse happened. I think that's the
what it wants might be the Dark Pulse.
Oh, Heat Wave in the rain.
Wave.
Don't think it's going to KO Bullseye.
I don't think it's going to KO, but
sure matters, though.
It's still crazy. We're going to get to see the Weather Ball as well. That is absolutely going to throttle the Chi-Yu. That's not a bad spot to be in, though, because now...
I disagree. I think Alberto's got kind of a safe play here.
Yeah. It's not good. I'll tell you that. It's not good.
Alberto's play is to Sucker Punch the Flutter Mane and then hit the Tornadus.
Yeah.
Or Tailwind.
I mean, the Torn should be able to... Which one's faster? Torn's totally faster than Pelipper. Torn KOs both these right now.
There is a little thing called Wide Guard, though.
That's true.
And it's going to come down to Wide Guard and Sucker Punch kind of things.
Yeah, it is Wide Guard.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if I'm not mistaken...
Yeah, and there's ain't no moves.
Yeah. There is this... Okay, that's good, though.
That's going to be the Sucker Punch into the... to our good friend, Flutter Mane.
I think you don't even need to Sucker Punch right now. I think you Tailwind.
I think you do need to Sucker Punch.
I think you...
no, you don't need to Sucker Punch.
No, because you got to risk that Mind Games of that Protect.
You do need to knock out the Flutter Mane is the thing. Like, it's basically the risk of Sucker Punch versus the risk of missing Icicle Crash.
Pretty much.
Which, I don't know, it's dealer's choice on which one is worse.
Again, no Tailwind.
But I think missing Icicle Crash is actually more dangerous, and there's the Sucker Punch.
Yeah, and that's gonna pretty much do it at this point.
It will literally do it. Tornadoes can't do anything.
Yeah.
It can set Sunny Day, though.
I guess
the sunlight turned harsh.
It's not gonna help.
It literally can't do anything. The wide card just keeps going.
Yeah.
It literally does not have an attacking move.
I think if you're William, you use this as a learning match because you're thinking, okay, it's Chi-Yu.
Hey, that's why it's best of 3.
It's very true. I think
William wasn't that far from winning that.
No. I think if you click Dark Pulse on Pelipper, I think that would have pretty much that would have given you a much better situation because Alberto's Pokemon both would have gone down to Bleak Wind Storm, and you could have Terra'd your Tornadus so that way you don't go down to an Icicle Crash. And so, or no, sorry, he used his Terra. So it would have been, you would have to Tailwind Dark Pulse on that turn, and at that point, I think he could have done it. The question mark would have been the Terra on Alberto's side. Use it on Dragonite, so you would have been fine. The question is, does the Bleak Wind knock out the Urshifu? I believe, and that's another thing. I think both Pokemon or both trainers used their Terras very early. I think that could have been beneficial late game. Obviously, we saw how much the Terra Normal did onto Ogerpon.
However, yeah, that's the thing. It's like it did matter in terms of getting the Ogerpon out of the way early, but also I don't know. I think both of them were not terrible given the context, but I think they could have been used later.
Definitely, you nailed my thoughts exactly there.
Especially because, I do think that the Ogerpon could have been, I don't know, that U-turn was kind of, the fact that U-turn knocked out the Ogerpon was meaningful, which is more about, because, I mean, the Extreme Speed would have done the same amount into Ogerpon, whether it had been Terrasilize or not.
Yeah, although I think at that point, it wouldn't necessarily have...
Like, I guess what I'll say is Ogerpon did not get any value out of the Terra, specifically.
And it didn't really matter at the end there, because you could have then just gone into your Urshifu, and sure, Chi-Yu would have been able to stay in, but you just click Close Combat, and it's gone. And at that point, like, you outspeed it, and then you could Sucker Punch the Flutter Mane, which is at low health, and then that was pretty much it. So, I think... And Chi-Yu could not knock out the Urshifu. So I think, we're going to see a different lead. The Follow Me with the Ogerpon in play now with Fridra, as well as a Rapid Strike and Chen-Pao combo. This isn't bad at all, actually. I think the Chen-Pao's obviously going to protect, but that's quite solid. And if you're Alberto, you are hoping that you brought out Amoonguss, because if that Trick Room does come out, that spells big trouble for William.
Yeah.
Exactly. With the Amoonguss, I should say. The Amoonguss does. Because Amoonguss does outspeed everything in Trick Room of William's team, which is...
Amoonguss outspeeds most Pokemon, period, in Trick Room.
It does.
I think it's just like Hatterene, basically.
Hatterene, Torkoal, and regular Ursaluna are the 3 main players that do not...
Does it really? Does regular Ursaluna underspeed?
Unless it's minimum speed Amoonguss.
Okay.
Most people go regular Amoonguss, from what I understand. But
normal style Amoonguss. We're gonna get the Follow Me out of the Ogerpon, so it feels like a Trick Room is coming out.
Yeah.
There's the U-turn. That's big U-turn damage.
It's Amoonguss time.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's Amoonguss time.
Oof, that's not great.
I'm thinking it's Amoonguss time. Did Chen-Pao protect?
No.
No, it did not. And Chen-Pao is going to finish off this Ogerpon.
Okay, the question is, was that Psychic called? Or is the Trick Room coming into play?
Yeah, it's definitely Trick Room. I was like, I don't know what play could happen that would be good for William here.
I think actually the Psychic would have been fine.
I guess the Psychic into the Amoonguss.
If your last Pokemon is really anything, it wouldn't have mattered. Just Psychic would have chipped it.
Yeah, I don't know how you get out of this one, especially because there's no, ain't no redirection or anything. This Ursaluna is just going to be taking a nap.
Yeah.
Or the Furgiraffe will take a nap. I feel like more likely, like, the Ursaluna is going to take a nap, because I'm not scared of the Furgiraffe.
I think you protect your Ursaluna and Psychic onto the Amoonguss if you are playing that, because that's a 2-hit, and depending on the Furgiraffe's EVs, if there's some special attack investment, it is, but it's citrus bearing, so probably not 2-hit anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And this Furgiraffe doesn't seem super offensive. Rocky Helmet. Gonna get the Terra Ursaluna.
It's not bad if you can wake up on the next turn. And it's also going to depend on how much Sacred Sword does, because it should do quite a bit.
Ooh, the Amoonguss Protect.
Dazzling Gleam Hyper Voice?
Dazzling Gleam Oh, it's just a
Trick Room Stall.
Yeah,
Okay,
Trick Room
fair
Stall.
enough,
That's fine. Yeah. No reason not to.
The interesting thing with that, however, is...
It was the Blood Moon used, so it can't be used this next turn.
I do think that's... Okay.
Oh, Untrick Room. Unwhoosh. That's genius from William. Actually no to the Amoonguss Trick Room. It does mean that the Sacred Sword is now dangerous, but it also means that Spore isn't faster than everything anymore.
Use Psychic Beam Amoonguss and Hyper Voice. Or Dazzling Gleam, I don't know.
So, yeah.
But yeah.
I kind of,
I know, right? It's 50-50.
I think, yeah. Farigiraf is going to boost the Bear. Icicle Crash onto the Farigiraf, so it's going to take a decent chunk. Ursaluna Hyper Voice. Let's see how much this does. I don't think this is going to KO the Amoonguss. It does! It KOs the Amoonguss, and that is out of there. This Amoonguss is, that is a lower special defense I think I'm used to on Amoonguss.
Hyper Voice Helping Hand...
Am I making things up?
No. Hyper Voice Helping Hand generally does not KO Amoonguss, so that's much less fragile. Wow. Huh, I guess
Ursaluna with the surprise W.
It's not a great position anymore.
It's still not. Yeah, it's still not ideal.
Okay, you know
William.
what? I think you Trick Room, and then you Hyper Voice again because it depends.
What is the worst case scenario of that play right now? Is that Ursaluna drops and you take a bunch of damage with Farigiraf? Like, fine. Fine, my Pokemon are all slow.
Yeah, I don't even at
whatever's in the back is probably gonna be slower than all the rest of this stuff.
Even if it's Flutter Mane, it doesn't matter because you can just Moonblast into that Urshifu slot.
Yeah.
And so there is no situation where Trick Room's not the right play.
Correct.
I don't like it.
Weird choice, but
I don't like that. Because
it's gonna work. Combat goes into it. Okay.
I think the Hyper Voice was better, but it's probably
it was going to be the exact. The result would have been the exact same.
Yeah. Although I don't think it wouldn't have gone down to it wouldn't have gone down to a Sacred Sword. So if the Alberto did target the Farigiraf, you could have just gone for
missed Icicle Crash. Oh no, Crash. I thought it missed.
You come out of the flinch. Okay.
Trick Room gets up.
Yeah, that's why I think the Hyper Voice was better though. It worked out because it ended up being the exact same position there. But yeah, I think the Hyper Voice, at least if you survived, could have knocked out. But this is exactly.
Flutter Mane is here.
This is the situation you want to be in because you can Dazzling Gleam and
you can Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah. Or Moonblast onto the other slot with the Flutter Mane. I think that's probably safer. But this Chien-Pao is not getting out of this Trick Room.
I doubt it.
So just sacrifice it.
Pretty good, all things considered, for William right now.
Very good. Very good. That reversal of the Trick Room was.
I don't even know that. I don't know that Alberto can get rid of, because I think double. Is Terra available for Alberto? It is, right?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to right now, because otherwise, Dazzling Gleam, crushes you.
Yeah.
You need to get rid of this Farigiraf. And we will see the Terra from Alberto. I think that's Alberto's Terra.
Yeah, that's the smart play.
Indeed.
But it comes down to
Terra
it's most likely a max special attack. I mean,
probably is. Yeah, and this means I think you have to Moonblast.
Yeah. That's smart.
And you also have to hit it with the Dazzling Gleam. Alright.
If you played the Psychic combo, it's Psychic. Psychic doesn't have a bet.
Psychic does way more than enough damage, and Dazzling Gleam, yeah, because Yup. And Farigiraf will stay standing, which means Sucker Punch can't come out, which means that this speed advantage is going to be maintained, and Chien-Pao is going to get knocked out, and Pelipper is going to be not much after, and William's probably going to win.
I think Williams got this one. Yeah, it's really going to be dependent on this Pelipper. I mean,
everything's always dependent on the Pelipper.
If it can get rid of Flutter Mane, that's pretty much it. And also, if Farigiraf can 2-hit KO.
I think you have to get rid of the Farigiraf first. I think. I think what Alberto's going for, I think Alberto wanted to double protect, to try to get Chien-Pao out of it. Ooh, and the crit
just to boost.
The crit just to boost things along. The Hurricane is going to get rid of the Farigiraf. But if this is a Dazzling Gleam, we are heading to game number 3. Oh, it's a Moonblast. I mean, we're heading to game number 3.
They are. Like I said, unless this, it's Focus Sash. There's literally nothing
there's
that can
literally
happen.
nothing this Pelipper can do. There is literally no way out. Wait, confusion.
That's the only case here. That's still no.
Okay, no. We're heading to game number 3. That was the read of the century from William. Not of the century. I don't want to like overstate it or anything, but still a fantastic, a couple of fantastic plays from William to get out of that one and pick up the victory in game number 2.
That is brilliant. That was a really good call. I did not think that the Among Us would go down to the Hyper Voice. I'm shocked at that.
That was some real damage. I'm gonna have to put that into the notes later. Punch that into my TA.
Yeah,
before.
that's very useful. Very useful to know. Helping Hand, Hyper Voice, kills Among Us. I think that is fascinating. And okay, so the question now becomes: is there anything stopping a Follow Me Hyper Voice combo right now? I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking there's nothing.
I mean, you have to remember that the only thing that took out the reason why it took out the Among Us is because it was also Helping Hand boosted.
But I'm not sure it'll necessarily matter, because if you see Chen Pao Dragonite lead, you just click Follow Me Hyper Voice, and then you're pretty much fine to do that again, or Dazzling Gleam and then Trick Room, because Dragonite can't really hit you very hard. Its best move would be
Dragonite get knocked out by Hyper Voice.
Not with Assault Vest. Helping Hand Blood Moon will probably do it though. Terra, normal of course. But I don't see. I think if you're William, you just take advantage of that Hyper Voice, go for the Follow Me combo.
Well, I think that's the problem is that you're still leaving both the Pokemon standing after doing.
But this wouldn't necessarily matter because after that, I don't think Dragonite and Chen Pao can knock out for a draft, and then you could go for Dazzling Gleam. So it's a 50-50. It's very 50-50. It's a very. But I think that's the play right now, though, is to go for that. Actually, I wouldn't also be surprised to see Golden Go come in for Alberto's side, because it does decent into most opposing Pokemon. Chi-Yu obviously is going to be scary, which there's that. There goes that. Never mind that. But there it is. I told you, Golden Go, it's good into this Fluttermane. And this Chi-Yu, it's going to outspeed, and it's Golden Go, so it's a very safe Heat Wave, and a very safe Protect on Golden Go as well. I think you swap that Chi-Yu out. If you have Ogerpon, you swap that Chi-Yu out. Oh, actually, this is tough because you also have the Fluttermane, which is going to go down most likely to Surging Strike. So what do you do in this case? Which one's going to... Mind games, man.
Yeah, which one's more important to deal with?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the thing as well, where... I think... Because I think... Unless you Terra... Okay, Golden Go's leaving. I guess fair enough.
That's decent. Yeah, just to ensure
getting into the rain. Yeah, I think that's smart to get into the rain here. I guess the question here, do we get like a, I don't know,
a Terra?
A Terra.
Terra Fairy? I assume.
Terra Fairy? What I mean?
That's very interesting. Could be very good right now.
Game deciding one way or another. Chihu's gonna Heat Wave.
That's fine. You really just want to burn on
burn? Hold for burn? No burn.
And the right target on that Surging Strikes.
Indeed, absolutely the correct target. That's what I was thinking, is that Fluttermane has a chance of KOing Urshifu, particularly if it does not particularly if Urshifu does not Terra. Fluttermane or Chi-Yu has basically no chance of doing that.
Yeah.
And so
I think he swapped the Fluttermane for Ogerpon would have been the play there. But
yeah.
The question is Ogerpon even in the back? And if not, you
always
swap it to...
isn't.
You could have switched to for a draft though, because of Rocky Helmet.
Yeah.
It looks like they're gonna go for Trick Room.
Reggie.
I'm kind of curious if the Rocky Helmet. I think if you tear a lot of Rocky Helmet for a draft goes down, you really are just, like I said, hoping for a burn. But you just at this point, if you're Alberto, you double target that for a draft, and it's hope that Ursaluna is that last one. And because we did not see Ogerpon come out, there's a really good chance.
I guess the concern of double targeting the Farigiraf is, well. Probably goes down. Probably fine. it's probably fine.
I don't think there's anything that it can really do.
Yeah, I think that first turn was very bad for William.
That was, like you said, game deciding. Mungus swapping out.
Mungus, yeah.
It's not terrible.
I mean, no reason not to. It's our good friend Mungus.
Just at this point, you're hoping that the last. You're hoping. I get that play because
we didn't get any switch out on William's side, which is interesting.
I think that's fine.
They're just begging for a burn.
Yeah. And a trick.
That's a lot of damage against a Moongus.
That is a lot. Citrus Berry is very good onto it right now.
Yeah. That was a lot more damage than I thought it would do.
Yeah.
And Surging Strike.
If you are...
Oh, onto the Chi-Yu. Singular Surging Strike. I wasn't joking.
What is this? Urshifu single strike mode? If this is a Trick Room, it's pretty much game over. Yeah. Of course, you gotta assume here that this is the Blood Moon Ursaluna. If it is, the Ogerpon, a little bit better of a shot. Not great, but a little bit better. And I think that's going to determine it right here because you Spore the Ursaluna and you...
Does the Psychic take out the Amoonguss? I guess probably... Now hold on.
I don't think it does at this range.
We're going to find out.
I don't think it takes out the Urshifu
We're going to find out. Ursaluna's EP. Takes the guaranteed turn. Psychic.
Doesn't
hold.
Nope.
Oh, 9 HP.
Not at 75%. Yeah.
Not at 75%. That was like really close.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check the notes later. See what the special defense on this thing is because it feels really low.
It does. It really does. I'm guessing 36, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to lock it in. You just click Spore and Surging Strikes, and the battle's canceled. Alberto, continuing the steamroll today. I believe he was first in Swiss.
Was the first seed coming out of that.
And now comes back with a win to secure his place in the top 4. What a match. And you know, it's a very, again, I've been saying this the entire format long, but unusual teams are the ones to beat right now. I've not seen a Rain team without Archaludon, and this is a combo of Chien-Pao, Dragonite, and Rain. That's very new, as far as I know. I have not seen that on Challenge or on the Showdown ladder, so it's a very unusual strategy, and the same thing kind of goes for William. You've obviously seen Chi-Yu Fluttermane. However, this is a Choice Choice Scarf Chi-Yu instead of Specs, and Focus Fluttermane. And that puts pressure on people because you're used to Fluttermane hitting first, and so because it's not, and
Chi-Yu's hitting first, having that Trick Room angle.
Yeah, with Blood Moon and Fridruff, that's scary. And so it's just, that's why I think these two teams have made top cut today. They're very different from stuff you normally face, and the pilots of them know how to play them. And so props to both players for making it this far.
Yeah, speaks a lot to the just flexibility of Ragaf. Really enjoying that metagame. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with semifinals. Don't go anywhere.